Hey everyone, it's Darby from Blue Television Games, and I'm back with another Video Games Monthly unboxing video. This time around, we're going to do things a little bit different, and I'm going to show you gameplay of all the games that I get in this month's box. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, we get a Video Games Monthly bracelet. Nice. I now have a bracelet. Now let's get to the games. First up, we have an N64 game, Rocket Robot on Wheels. Rocket Robot on Wheels is a 3D platformer released on October 31st, 1999. It was developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Ubisoft. The core gameplay consists of collecting tickets and solving puzzles. I had never played or heard of the game, but had found it to be quite fun. The controls were solid and the camera worked well. The game received positive reviews back when it was released. I look forward to playing more of this game. Next up we have Star Fox Adventures for the Nintendo GameCube. It is complete in the box, which is super cool. Oh yeah, totally complete in the box. It even has the manual, which a lot of these games don't come with. That's really awesome. Star Fox Adventures, an action-adventure beat-em-up shooter that was released on September 23rd, 2002. It was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo. Gameplay in Star Fox Adventures is often compared to the Legend of Zelda series, in which there are more on-foot sections. Though the game received some nice reviews back when it was released, there are many people that felt the series departed from its traditional gameplay too much. They didn't play enough of the game to really form a solid opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Next up we have Terminator II, the arcade game for the Sega Genesis. Also, complete in the box. Very cool. T2, the arcade game, is a shooter game released on October 31st, 1991. It was developed by Midway and published by Midway for the arcade versions. The console ports were developed by Probe and then published by Acclaim. I love the arcade feel of the game, but up until the boss fight, the gameplay felt really repetitious. The Genesis version received decent reviews. I did have fun playing the game. I look forward to seeing if the variety in the environments and enemies increases as you get farther in the game. Up next, we have another N64 game. We have Pokemon Snap. As many of you know, my N64 collection is quite bare bones, so any new N64 games are great, and this is a game I think a lot of people enjoyed as a kid, so it'll be fun for me to check it out and see what I think. Pokemon Snap is a first-person on-rails photography simulation game. It was released on June 30th, 1999. The game was developed by HAL and published by Nintendo. Gameplay consists of trying to get the best photos of Pokemon as you travel on a linear track. This was the first time I had played the game, but it seems that the replay value would be high as you try to memorize where the best Pokemon and photos can be taken in each section of the game. I love the laid-back feeling of Pokemon Snap, and I look forward to playing it more. Up next, we have another N64 game. It's Jet Force Gemini. Jet Force Gemini is a third-person shooter action-adventure game. It was released on October 11th, 1999. The game was developed and published by Rare. Gameplay focuses heavy on shooting large groups of enemies while attempting to dodge their attacks. Throughout the game, you play as 3 different characters in non-linear worlds. In addition to the single-player mode, there are traditional deathmatch games for up to 4 players. The game received great reviews that often compared the game to some old-school 8 and 16-bit games that required some skilled controller inputs. I had a blast playing the game briefly and look forward to more time with the game. Alright, we're through the first 5 games. Which brings us to the little Video Games Monthly box for our final 5. First game we have is Top Gun Combat Zones for the Nintendo GameCube. Another one complete in the box. Top Gun Combat Zones is a jet fighter pilot sim that was released in 2001. It was developed by Digital Integration and published by Titus Software. The game features 36 missions that span 3 different periods of history. I was really impressed with the solid control of this game. I only played 1 mission and was itching to play more. Looking back at old reviews, the game received an average of around 6 out of 10 on the GameCube. The average review scores could mean the game gets a little stale after a bit. Curious to see if that's true. Up next we have a Super Nintendo game, The Adventures of Dr. Franken. The Adventures of Dr. Franken is a 2D platformer released on December 1st, 1993. It was developed by Motive Time and published by DTMC. The gameplay is focused on platforming, but also has a Metroidvania feel to it as well. I love the look of the game and also the horror theme. However, what ruined the game for me a bit was the way the screen scrolled. It sort of felt like I was moving the screen more than the character. I always hate when games use screen scrolling like this. I feel like if I can get used to the jittery screen shifting around and took time to explore the manual a bit, the game might be worth taking a second look at. Next up, we have a super common NES game that I haven't picked up yet for whatever reason. It is Volleyball for the NES. Volleyball is a sports game released on March of 1987. It was developed and published by Nintendo. The gameplay is, well, it's volleyball. The characters' movements are pretty stiff and the graphics are rather dated. This actually gives the game a bit of charm. Playing against the CPU was not that much fun, but I could see playing against a buddy being a really good time. Classic retro sports games can be a lot of fun, even if they are a little rough around the edges. Next up, we have another Super NES title. It is Family Feud. I have Family Feud on multiple systems. Super Nintendo is one of the versions I haven't snagged yet. Family Feud is a game show game released on Super Nintendo in 1993. The fun thing about the old versions of Family Feud is seeing the random questions that come up and trying to think what the answers would have been back in the 90s. Some things will hold true to this day, where some things will be outdated. Like most game show games from retro to modern, you'll want to play these against a friend and not by yourself. And our final game for this month's box is a game a lot of you are going to think you didn't have that yet. And it is Ninja Gaiden on the NES. I'm really excited to finally have a copy of it again. Great way to finish up this month's box. Ninja Gaiden is an action-adventure game that was released in October of 1988. It was developed and published by Tecmo. The gameplay is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with some cool platforming that features a really awesome wall-jumping mechanic. You'll also pick up power-ups along the way, which makes taking out the bad guys a bit easier. If you haven't played Ninja Gaiden before, you should really give it a go. Alright everyone, that concludes this month's Video Games Monthly unboxing video. Let me know what you think of the new format, where you see both me unboxing the game and playing the games all in one video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button in the top right of the video. Over to the left is a couple other videos from BTG I think you might enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.